Hello, this is Simran, and in today's video we'll look at how to set up CI/CD pipeline in AWS using the host of or the bunch of AWS services we have been provided with. So to start with, what is CI/CD pipeline in general? So there are multiple stages when it comes to having your application deployed, and then there are a bunch of things which goes on. You have your source code. Each time you push in some changes to it, you have to rebuild the code. You have to test it against a given set of tests, and then you have to deploy it, redeploy it, and then post that comes the monitoring and other stuff. So this is what the entire CI/CD pipeline looks like. How to do this in AWS? So to do this in AWS, we have been provided with quite a lot of AWS services. Let's talk about a few major ones. So the first step being you having a version control system where you push in new changes to the code, and that triggers some other set of steps like building, testing, deploying, and bunch of things. So to start with, any version control system would work, be it GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, anything. AWS provided its own managed Git repository, which is called AWS CodeCommit, but the services have been discontinued and it is only available for some past users who have their repositories already created. So new users aren't allowed to create new repos. So it's mostly going to vanish after a certain amount of time. So that being said, once you have pushed the changes to your code in a managed Git repository, the next thing being you build that code. And post building that code, you can have maybe you can create a jar file out of it, maybe a zip file, or maybe you need to create a container image out of it. Anything can be there. So to escalate this process or to take care of this process, we have AWS CodeBuild. So what CodeBuild does is it takes care of two things. One is building the code and running it for a set of test cases. So these two are taken care by the AWS CodeBuild. So what it does is it has code artifact where you can store your zip files, your jar files, whatever is a byproduct of compiling and building the code. And apart from that, if you want to run your container image, you have AWS ECR, which is Elastic Container Registry. And there you can push your container images. Now, once you have your images or your jar files, whatever it is ready, next thing is to get it deployed. So for that, you have AWS CodeDeploy, which takes care of deploying your code which has been built and which has been tested on top of maybe EC2 servers, maybe on your local servers as well, or maybe be it another maybe serverless system, anything, wherever you want to deploy it. Now, once you have things deployed, the next thing comes, you want to monitor it. So AWS provides AWS CloudWatch service, which takes care of your logs and metrics. You'll get the data there. And apart from that, you can make use of CloudTrail and other bunch of services provided by AWS. So now next thing is, say you pushed in changes to your Git repository, then the code build should be informed. Once code build part is done, the code deploy should be informed. So to take care of this entire pipeline, we have AWS CodePipeline, which act as a glue sticking all the pieces together. So you have the end product where once you push changes to your source code repository, the code build is triggered, and the code build runs the build and the testing stages, and once done, it triggers the code deploy, and you have your services deployed on top of EC2, on top of server or local servers, or even serverless environments. And then once things are done, you can automatically monitor it using the CloudWatch logs and CloudTrail. So hope you found this video helpful.